Hello and welcome back to another video. Today it is round one of Psgl, the new season of and yeah, heading into this season. Obviously, as everyone knows, this is the quickest, fastest grid that you can get outside of F1 esports. So yeah, going to be a challenge as always. It's not quite as competitive as like the end of last game where you had literally every single F1 esports driver on the grid, but it still is a pretty handy grid and a good grid to go up against to just improve my skills, stay sharp, and just do my best really. I've said way too many times already, but yeah. Going into it, it is not the greatest track for me. Yeah, I can't stop saying for some reason, but yeah. Oh well, I only do these commentaries once. But yeah, as we go into it, it's not, like I said, the greatest track for me. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just a little bit RNG, you could say, as not the hairpin, the fast left-right chicane is criminal for invalidations and being on the limits. But yeah, this is actually Q2 in the background. My first lap was absolutely horrible. Will Lewis putting in a very good first lap, which is seeing through quite comfortably, but we put in a 0.7, which was literally awful. But yeah, as we go again, we need to get this lap in, otherwise we're going to be out of qualifying, which isn't ideal. As everyone knows, this is not a great game for us, Mercedes in particular. We just did not really, well, we're still not fully gelling with the game completely, which obviously is a problem. We, just not as confident as the other guys, as I think Jarno would say the same. He just hasn't, same with me, I just haven't felt really fully confident, dialed in with how the car responds basically. So yeah, as we head into the last sector now, getting it pretty nicely, no risk. Knew that if I just get a solid lap in, it should put me through to Q3, which we're looking on course to do here. But yeah, no real errors, quite under the limit, but yeah, in these last laps you kind of need to just fully get a lap in. If you don't get one in, then
John's peaking.
Yeah,
John's on for the record.
you're gonna be out. But 16.505 over the line, not too bad, not great. If that was F1 esports, that'd probably knock us out. But yeah, we're not in F1 esports now. The grid is a little bit weaker, but yeah, there's still some really good drives in it, like Barry Burrowman, probably the quickest qualifier on this game. So yeah, it's probably going to be between him for the championship, Thomas Ronha, me, Jarno obviously, but he is going to be missing a few rounds, so yeah, obviously it's going to be hard, but yeah, Jarno's never going to be discounted in one of these championships obviously. But yeah, this is our first run in Q3, 16.6, absolutely horrible. You saw through the fast chicane, pretty horrendous, but now we are going to skip on to our final lap in Q3. We haven't got a lap on the board right now, so this is pretty crucial. We've got to set a good lap here to get into the top 10 really, and a good starting position. So open up DRS into turn 1. Just after 100 meters, you want to be braking and turning, hitting getting all over the inside curb, because it basically just turns you in for the corner. Now braking at the black box, you actually hit the outside wall, turning way too early, and there's probably an easy half a tenth to a tenth gone there, but then getting a good exit out of that whole complex. A 3.6 first, not great, not bad, but then through there, getting it nicely hooked up to the apex and now into the longest straight on the track. No DRS here, but well, it's like a curve, a right to left curve, and then into the hardest corner on the track. And 85, so that it's not great, it's not bad, not really hooking it up at the moment. It's just, yeah, a little bit scruffy, not getting it fully hooked into the apex. Through here now, pretty nicely through there, I was pretty spot on. And then into the fast rounder, really under the limit there, just didn't really take any risk. Through the final sector now, again turning in way too early, bit of a snap over still on exit. It's not been a great lap. Where's it going to put us? P4 for the moment. Is that going to stay? 3.5, which to be honest isn't a bad lap for what I was doing in practice, but ultimately it wasn't anything to shout home about. It wasn't too good.
My lap was horse.
But yeah, Barry Bowman sets a PB in the session at 1:19. Very impressive from him.
Christ, Barry.
But yeah, again, Barry, Ron Ha, Tom Manley, all ahead of us. I expect Ron Ha and Barry to be in the championship fight, and we've got to fight them off. Tom, if he performs well, yeah, he'll be there. But yeah, a 10th off P3, which, yeah, it's not ideal, but yeah, that'll do. But now heading straight into the race now, we're going to have to get a good start to this race if we want any chance of fighting for it. So now, here come the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. Good initial launch, and then the second phase was absolutely incredible. Past Tomani, looking for a little sniff on the race leader on the pole position set, so that's an absolutely perfect start. The launch was just, yeah, it was pretty perfect there. And now Thomas and Barry are going side by side. Is Thomas, we're going to defend the inside, no real need to do anything else. Thomas pushes Barry off, Barry goes wide, Thomas maintains the lead, and now we're right up behind Barry Boromand. If I'm being honest, I didn't feel like we had the pace of the top two. I don't know what it was. Usually we come into our own in the race, but here I just did not feel like I had the grip. I did about 7 race laps. I know these guys did quite a bit of race preparation, so yeah, already we're on the back foot on the race, as you see there initially, just completely missing the corner. Tom as well, I'd imagine he's done a couple race laps. I did do a few, like 10, I think, 7 to 10 laps, but yeah, that was really it. I didn't feel too confident either in those laps I did do. It wasn't really, the pace wasn't really there. But you see here, Barry making a few mistakes. We're looking pretty sharp initially on this first lap. Thomas breaking the toe. Is he going to try break out DRS? I do doubt it. But yeah, so not a bad position to be in. Still got 27 laps to go, and we are up in P3. Heading on to lap 5, it's pretty much the same. Got our full battery near enough, and yeah, Thomas leading, Barry second. It's just pretty much a stalemate at the minute. No one can really go anywhere because everyone's pace is quite similar. And see here, the two ahead were on max battery. I'm on a little bit less than max, just showing that I do believe they had a little bit more pace than me in quali and race. Yeah, it's not ideal, but on strategy, maybe we can make something happen. Who knows? If all goes to plan, that is. And yeah. But this is pretty much how F1 League racing is. You sit in a train for 20 minutes, you wait, see if anyone makes a mistake, and then if they do, that's when you pounce. Up to lap 9 now. Again, just pretty much the same happening. Hitting turn 1 pretty nicely. I did seem quite strong through the first sector mainly. It was just like the fast left right chicane. I was losing a bit to these guys, which is understandable. The more confident you are going through that chicane on heavy fuel, the faster you're going to be, obviously, and because these guys ahead had done more race laps, it was pretty apparent that they were faster through there, as I think you're going to see now, potentially, if I don't skip it, as I do, not ideal, but yeah, they were just faster than me on this day.
No.
As I'm asking for TAS here because I thought I got a warning, I just weren't sure if my warnings were showing up,
Okay, no.
but then I went wide, just testing the limits, see if I did actually have warnings, and I did have warnings on, which is good, because now I don't have to guess if I get a warning or not, but yeah, on to 16.
Stayed behind us now.
Who would have thought? Everything is literally the same. There is nothing to really look at, and now by this point we're thinking about a pit stop. Drained a little bit of battery to get up closer to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue.
As I say, I'm going to continue, mainly because I know there's people that are watching my stream. We're going to follow Thomas in, which isn't what I wanted to do, but a couple laps ago Wilson and them did pit, so I was very wary of them guys, and I did not want to get undercut.
We're gonna have like 4
It's
it was
early
right
on in the season, so I want to confirm at least a P3, and if I don't, I can still challenge for the win like this. I do rate, well, back myself on racecraft, so yeah, it's pretty good situation to be in. Now we're going to blast the battery, get up to the back of Thomas Ronha, and hopefully undercut Barry Boromant. That was the aim of this undercut. As Wilson Hughes behind is going to be putting us under a little bit of pressure, as he's got his tyres in the working window. Thomas Ronha 8 tenths ahead, so again just showing he's got a little bit more pace, a little bit more confidence. We're having to use quite a bit to get back up to him, using a bit for the battery, so I'm going to be safe from Wilson. But yeah, through the chicane, actually doing it pretty nicely. Barry Boromant is pitting this lap, and we are going to follow Thomas
yes.
and see what we can do.
Barry and Yano.
Barry will come out near enough with us, which is good. It's quite a narrow track, so it's hard for overtaking, as you're going to be looking on the right hand side. Barry there out the pits, he's going to be on a very tight line through turn 1. Out of turn 1, Thomas easily gets Barry, and now we're going to be looking for a move onto Barry. Thomas covers the inside, so it boxes us in a little bit. Barry's tyres are still cold though, as now we're looking for a move. We're going to back out though. Little hit on the back there, sends him wide, but now his tyres are extremely cold. We're looking for a move here, and we back out because there's just no real place to go. And now we're going to turn on the battery again, then turn it off because I felt I was a bit too low, and I did not want to be in a position on having to defend from Wilson rather than attacking Barry. So turn off the battery, save it a little bit. Thomas up ahead as well, slowly creeping away, so I didn't want to lose DRS to him. But definitely from this position we are in with a shout of the win. We can definitely mount a challenge.
Wilson on 32, someone said.
Onto the top 2, but in my head I really wanted to just confirm a podium.
Yeah.
I should have been focusing on the win, yes, I know that, but it's early on in the season. Scoring consistent points is going to be very crucial, as we get a second warning there. It's not ideal. On to lap 21 now. Thomas and Barry getting really close. We're just kind of hanging back, trying to save some battery, and then pounce later on, save some tyres, save some battery, and yeah, hopefully we can put on a bit of a show at the end of the race, and fight for the win, which is going to be hard, but
I'm gonna need an instrument.
Yeah, I know it's definitely
Well,
possible.
the
I
two
got the
ahead,
racecraft,
they're most
the
likely to launch
pace,
one. So
not so much this race, but we're still there or thereabouts. Barry is now looking for a move on to Thomas. You see they're both now burning battery. This is good for us. Around the outside for Barry, Thomas on the inside. Barry runs a bit wide, and now this is perfect for us. We need them to fight Barry all the way around the outside into the lead now. Thomas back up the inside. They make a bit of contact. Thomas stops the apex. We have to go to the back of him there. I was not expecting that. And now Wilson looking for a move on us as Barry now takes the lead. Thomas in second. They both used quite a bit of ERS there, so now we're probably all around equal on ERS, which is good.
perfect timing.
As Luke says, perfect timing there because he actually did
It's just
mention
too narrow though.
we need a crash
Yeah,
from the two ahead. But I say it's too narrow to really do anything. But now on to lap 28. These are the 2 laps that are going to count to this win. You see Thomas right up behind Barry. We've got definitely more ERS than the both of them ahead now, and we're going to start deploying very soon. But Aiton's behind. It's looking unlikely we're going to be able to put a challenge onto them. But yeah, we're going to do our best. Into the end of the first sector, into the second sector.
Both in the 30s.
Oh, sorry. Gonna use our patch.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
So Luke says they're
Yeah, okay.
in the 30s now for both of them. We're in about 60%, so that's really good. And we are definitely gonna get a fight for the win here. Mainly because we do have that battery increase. As long as we start the next lap with a good apex at turn 1, it should be pretty easy to fight for the win. Especially because the 2 ahead probably will start going side by side. Well, that is what I hoped for anyway. And now out the final corner, we're gonna lay down the battery a little bit, not as much as Ronar. As we go through turn 1, absolutely missing the apex though, just not getting it hooked up there. And now we're on the back foot completely. We did not get a good first apex, which is where we were strong, and they're missing turn 3 as well. So this is not going well at the moment. Not even gaining, just maintaining. And now we're having to use our battery unnecessarily through the fast right-hander. Thomas picks up 2 warnings already on this lap, so if he gets one more, he will be earning himself a 3-second penalty. We're going to use our battery 20% left, so we've still got more than the guys ahead, but it's just not close enough. But as we go through here, Thomas cuts the inside, picks up a 3-second penalty. We mess up the chicane again, so this last lap has been absolutely horrendous. Thomas now running wide, so this last lap has been terrible, but Thomas did pick up a penalty in fact, so it's looking good for P2 here.
Thomas penalty.
Ow. Juicy.
But Thomas actually did pick up a penalty, like I said, as it is going to be
I'm not
P2
gonna lie,
at the
I
end
was
of this
going
race. Not
off the
ideal,
bike,
but yeah, it happens.
I'm
Good start to the
hoping they
season,
would
good
battle,
solid points.
so I don't
Barry
have to
picking up
use
the
ERS
wins,
and then
GG to
come back
him.
into me with no
Wilson
ERS and I have,
P3,
like,
GG to him
50%
as well as Thomas.
I think that was the only realistic way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a McLaren 1.3, Mercedes 2.6.
I think if we'd
So
have just got Barry.
not a great start to the season for us, but yeah, that is how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And yeah, we did score some valuable points for the team, which is also good. And hopefully in the coming few races we will be outscoring McLaren. Well, that's the plan anyway. We surely got to beat them in Psgl because they did beat us in the actual F1 Esports Pro Series, which is not what you want. But yeah, that is how it goes. They were very fast. But I appreciate everyone watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.